second show. We did a very small interview at Worlds 2023.
And I think we're live
Yeah, we
now.
did, and we are live at this point. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to an all-new episode of Holotheatre. I am Darren Tartaglione, also known as D-Tartag1. Joining me tonight from the Great White North is the bearded legend himself, Mr. Garrett Larson. Not to be confused with Chris Schoenthal. I know they look the same.
Chris should be very offended at that.
No, it's Chris. He won't be offended. And then joining us in honor of the upcoming special Corporal Beezer Bowl himself, Brian Frodo Light Avery. How are you doing tonight, sir?
I am doing very well. I'm excited to promote this event. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We've got lots of special gifts and guests planned, and I think it's just going to be a ball. I mean, there's a lot of things that you're not going to be expecting at this event that you might see at other events. Like, for one, there's going to be a Beezer Bowl halftime show.
Okay, so we'll get into that here in a second, but first let's get into what is going on in Star Wars CCG right now, December 23rd, or December 2023, because we got a lot going on. First up, the big thing is the Jawa Cup has almost officially started. I don't want to say official, but
I think games can officially get started right now.
Yeah. Justin Miyashiro went ahead and sent out all the pairings last night. And by the looks of it, I mean, if you're interested, like the first round goes from December 8th through the 17th. So it's going to be a fun little event. 66 players are registered for it. And let's see, I believe the first round pairings are on. Yep, they are on the forums. So some of the big ones right off the bat, we've got Anthony Howard versus Scott Lingrell, Bill Kafer versus Johnny Chu, Brad Reinhold versus Steve Harpster, Chris Gogolin versus Mike Turner, myself versus Chris Kelly, Connor Britton versus Kendall Hallman. Definitely a lot of interesting matches. Garrett, you're playing against CRG's son. How do you feel about that?
I am. I'm playing against Leaf, and I'm on the one hand kind of excited because I love getting to play against kids and how, that joy and fun they have. On the other hand, like, I've watched Leaf play some games. I'm a little worried that my immune to less than age 12 is gonna possibly get broken here, and that's not something I want to have happen. So we'll see how it goes. I think we're going to try and play this weekend, so it'll be interesting. If we can make it happen.
Yeah, and I noticed that, Brian, you're not signed up for it.
I am focusing mostly on the Beezer Bowl at this point, so
Okay.
I probably haven't seen me on GEMP as much lately because I'm trying to get the property cleaned up, and Avery's Music is where the event is happening.
Okay.
So we have a main house, and if you're on the forums, you can check that link, and you'll see the street view, and then you'll see that the buildings we're going to actually be having the event in are detached from the main house. So we had a oversized garage that is in back of our house that we have turned into an art gallery because my wife is an artist.
Okay.
And that's gonna it could hold probably 25 people playing games all at the same time, and it's refinished and track lighting and beadboard ceilings and walls and all sorts of it doesn't read as a garage. It's more of a recreational building.
Okay.
And then behind that, Avery's Music. When I first moved to East Hampton, I just started calling myself Avery's Music. just because I was like, all right, this is, sounds pretty legitimate. Maybe it seems like there's other people who do this besides me. But no, it was just me. I called myself Avery's Music. I got a sign that said Avery's Music in my front lawn. So I was trying to drum up business because we had just moved to town about 15 years ago. So eventually that actually worked. And now, people started working for me. And I had tons of people who were teaching, probably 7 or 8. Had, clarinet instructor, woodwind, saxophone, voice, other piano teachers, other guitar teachers. I teach piano and guitar myself. But since the pandemic has happened, the kind of put a kibosh on having 7 teachers on my property who I don't really know that well, and then their students who I definitely don't really know very well. So basically we've just got 2 buildings that are recreationally built for the Beezer Bowl specifically.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we'll get more into the Beezer Bowl and everything here in a second. First up, the next big thing that's coming up is the Harrah's Hyper Heist on Saturday, December 16th. That starts at 11 a.m. Eastern. I'll be running the show, so make sure you guys are ready to participate in it. It's only $10 to play. Again, the winner will receive a Captain Harrah PCXL deck box. The more people that sign up, the better chances you have to get a PCXL deck box. So make sure everybody signs up. It's definitely going to be a fun event. Deck lists are required for this one. And then...
And Jared added a bunch more prize support.
Oh, yeah.
There's a Endor sheet going out. The PC deck boxes, they're beautiful and awesome. And I, talk about them every time. But there's they added a bunch. I know the timers got shortened a little bit because, I know the BB-8 event last month definitely felt a little bit like a slog at times. That it was going real long in a couple games, but it'll be fun. I'm hoping I can get into it. Just depends on if my kid's got playing in the hockey game that day or not. So.
And if you're interested in checking out the prizes, everything is on the forums. And then on December 10th, the Dutch Nationals event will take out, and that one looks like it's going to be a fun event. Definitely excited to check up on that one.
I think all the stuff in Euros,
they're always fun.
They always have fun, and they're getting ready for Worlds next year, so yeah, everything's gonna be good out there.
And then December 16th is also Las Vegas States, hosted by our good friend Anthony, I am the Bat Mouse Howard. So if you can go to that, make sure you can. It is also secretly Batmouse's 40th birthday, so make sure you give warm birthday wishes to the Batmouse.
Just call him old.
I mean, we're all old at that point.
Pretty much.
Then December 15th is also the first day that you can submit your orders for the PC donation program. Again, the flagship item is the 4th anthology box, I want to say. It is the Darksaber box, as you can see on the screen. Jared already posted a video regarding all of the tiers, what you can get for it. But again, the box looks awesome. I can't wait to get my own.
Yeah, that's just so pretty.
And then, as always, remember to subscribe to Twitch, as it's the easiest way to make a donation to the PC. All your donations will go back to the PC, whether it's through the streaming, prize support, events, anything that we do. And you can always check out what the foil slips that you'll get for just as for each of your tiers. I know that the 4-year is 0 Hour in Liberation of Lothal. 54 months is Hunt for the Droid General, and He's a Coward. So once you get up there, you get some really cool ones.
I think I hit a year in about 3 days, according to Twitch. So.
And then we also have a update to the Defensive Shield primer. So if you're one of those new and returning players and you've got some questions about the defensive shields, make sure you go check out the forums. Big thank you to Lenny and Blake for doing this. The the Outrider Cup is just right around the corner, with the big date in question being January 5th. Make sure you tune in as our good friend Chris Schoenthal will announce the teams officially, as well as all the pairings. And then just released recently are the 2023 official AI cards. So you can go out and download some of these AIs, including the Darth Vader, Emperor's Enforcer, Darksaber, General Hux, Palpatine, the Emperor Returned, Finn, BB-8, and Grand Inquisitor that break the frame, and just like a lot of the other cool ones. So if you're interested in checking those out, go ahead. And then
all the amazing stuff our graphics guys do.
And then last but not least, it is that time again to vote for the 2023 Holotheatre Guest of the Year. So unlike previous years where everybody's going to vote for one person, what we're going to do is we're going to have people vote for their top 3 this week. So from now until next week, you're going to vote for your top 3. After that, we're going to take the top 3 players, and then we'll have another round of voting to narrow it down to the one individual person. So again, this will be up and onto the forums here right after the show. And Brian, don't worry, you'll be on the list. So you'll have your chance of being the Holotheatre Guest of the Year.
All right, let's see if we can make that happen. I mean, I'm going to have to really pull some stunts tonight for that to go down, but I'm willing to make the effort. I've got my props ready. I'm going to be like Carrot Top this whole night. I hope you guys are cool with that. I hope you like his comedy. Very similar style.
And I will say this, though. Right now in the chat, we have your good buddy Large Pork. He said that he is going to vote for you. So
I've got one vote.
You got one vote so far.
Well, right back at you, Pork. Right back at you.
Okay. So again, Brian, this is essentially your second time on the show. You said that you were on earlier when it came to Worlds this past year.
Yes.
You came to Worlds. Was this your first major event?
The Connecticut contingent's history of Star Wars is really just been 27 years of playing no shields, no V cards, and then I got egged on. I believe it was Andy Talaga. He, in the chat, in the lobby, he might have even done it vertically. I'm not sure. But he said, "Do you have the balls?" And it was a Connecticut-hosted event. And I don't think I responded to that question in the lobby with an answer. I might have responded ambiguously. But then, the rest of our Connecticut contingent members, who I will introduce a little bit later on.
I mean, you're getting a lot of love in the chat right now. I don't know if you can see that.
I cannot see it. I can't see it. I was egged on by the other 4 members of the contingent, so I actually went to that event. But unbeknownst to me, one of our other members, Blue Milk, Patrick Scahill, right there, he went to the event as a spy to just scope it out. Because, remember, this is our first time making a public appearance in the 27 years we've all been playing. So we just wanted to scope it out and see what's going on. So he went there and just, checked it out and reported back and said, hey, it's a cool bunch of guys. They're just playing cards as you would expect. Nothing fishy there. So I just kind of went there to, I brought a couple decks. I wasn't expecting to enter the tournament. But I just brought some cards, and from that I met Andy Talaga. We were going to do a quick AOTJ game just based off of the cards I brought. And he made a deck. He made a light side, and I had a dark side. And then he got sort of bogged down with the game because he was winning them. So then Large Porg was freed up because he must have been losing them or something. But he was freed up for a game. Maybe he got a bye or something. but I got to meet Large Porg. I also talked with Apollyon for quite some time. And I just, I really felt, some kinship between everyone who was there. And I got to meet Scott, the leader of the ship as it is on Slack. And he's, just everyone was such a great guy. And, obviously I don't even think I need to say guy at this point. It is a mostly male-dominated game, but maybe in the coming years we'll be able to attract some females to the game. That would be nice. But yeah, it's just a great experience. So I decided, let's go for it. Let's go to Worlds. And I think it was Large Porg. We might have exchanged numbers, or at least I think I got onto the book club Discord through him and his advice. And the other Discord I was already on, but I wasn't very active. But I joined the book club, and I started becoming better friends with Seymour and Andy Palaga through that, and Ben Kenobi. Just tons of people. I know I'm probably leaving some people out, but I mean, friends that I actually feel comfortable FaceTiming with, playing a game, having a brewski, having a little fun, and just playing Star Wars. And that's kind of all about, the Connecticut contingent has been about having fun greater than winning. I mean, that's why I actually like the Jawa Cup idea, because it bans certain decks.
Wow, that's a big glass there, sir.
It's a drink for all my beverages. I put whatever I need in there.
I like hearing how welcoming the community was. Like, I think all of us definitely try and shoot for that, and really do try and be, welcoming, and, have people and have fun. Like, I know you and I sat and had breakfast at Worlds on, Friday before the Retro and Cube
That was a blur to me. All of Worlds was so intense. I mean, I loved it. And I got to meet another, 70 people, but I probably got to meet another 20 people and actually, become friends with them from that. So, I mean, I basically, just from that one Connecticut event, I said, okay, if this is the kind of people that are in this kind of a group and they all play SWCCG, then I'm just going to go for it. It was in New Jersey, so it was only a 2-hour drive. So I decided to go for it. And the trick of it was I'd never played virtual cards before, because the CT contingent was been no shields, no V, which isn't really even a format that anyone plays. It was just us playing this format for this long. So it was like, every now and then I'd catch a game with Lauren 29, but, I'd have to put some V cards in there and I'd still get my ass kicked by him. But, I mean, now, just this past 7 months, the entire Connecticut contingent, which is five of us guys, have been, getting into the V cards, getting into shields, trying to understand that world. But it is so much different than playing no shields, no V. The learning curve is so big, but I love that about it, because it keeps the interest for us. Because, we'd played so many damn no shield, no V games, it was getting tiresome. So it's good to learn about these new cards and also be able to play different players. And have, a little fun in the lobby, Every now and then you're going to get an outburst, and I think that's part of the game. I mean, trash talk is also a little bit a part of the game, but, you try and keep it clean. You try and keep it clean, but, every now and then the tiger gets out of the cage, and, people talk, and that, people spy on you and all this shit. So, I think it's a really great world that I didn't really enter into except for the past 7 months. So I'm lucky to have stumbled upon it.
Well, I think we can all say I'm, super happy. We're all happy you did stumble upon it, and, obviously are enjoying it and being able to, give that sort of, a lot of us, and I think Dan will agree with this too, like, a lot of us have been around for a long time.
Too long.
I've been playing Star Wars 27, 28 years, somewhere in that neighborhood, and traveling to tournaments, and all of us are friends, but we've been friends forever, and it definitely, I know can feel real overwhelming to show up to an event where everybody who's there has known each other for 15 years, and there's all the kind of inside jokes and chatter, and I think it's awesome to hear that everyone was super welcoming for you, and it's something we can kind of say as a community is like, look, we really do
it's an
welcome
awesome
new
experience.
players. We want people to be here and have fun and do stuff. So I love hearing that. So it's an awesome information.
Honestly, I'm looking forward to Worlds 2024.
So
I haven't booked the flight yet, but
I was going to say, yeah. So you are going to Worlds out in Europe, huh?
I'm going to do it. Yeah, we're going to go to Germany, Bochum, Germany. We have a friend who lives in Vienna.
Wow.
So, yeah, the Connecticut contingent spans the globe. And that's actually a direct quote from Large Porg. When I went over to his house, he just kind of said that on the sly, and I remembered it. He said it like it wasn't funny, but it was actually one of the funniest things I've ever heard. The Connecticut contingent has people from Colorado, people from Vienna, or people who live there now. I guess we were all from Connecticut initially. We all went to high school together. G Superstar, I met in homeroom in 6th grade.
Wow.
Became best of friends 7th grade, and that's when we started playing Star Wars together. And we're playing against older guys. So, we were getting trained by the Yodas of Star Wars community in 7th grade. This is back 27 years ago. So it's good to see this change, or to have this change available for the V cards. I mean, obviously, it's one of these things that keeps compiling and compiling and compiling, and each time you add a new V set, you kind of have to nerf a few cards. You have to make a few cards more powerful so the V set makes sense. And I think that we're doing a good job as a community and the players committee of making it playable, but not too OP but that is also an area that I feel needs to be worked on, because there are some core cards like EPP Maul. It's like, does he really need to be able to force train +1 as well as fire for free? I mean, it's like, if you don't have him in your deck, you lose.
Well, it depends on the deck too.
It depends on the deck, but I'd say that there are still some, and that's why I'm saying the Jawa Cup makes sense to figure out, what decks are OP. So, when I was playing in the World Tournament, I didn't even have a deck. I did not bring virtual card decks to this tournament. Okay. I only brought Retro League. I was only planning on playing the Retro League, but Large Porg had extra decks. So he was like, yo, I got these 2 extra decks. You got to stay an extra night. So I was like, all right, I'm in.
I love the Large Porg. I love the Large Porg impression, by the way.
It's not far off from Connecticut. You just got to tweak it a little bit. But he convinced me, because he's such a nice guy and, fun to hang around with, So it's just like, oh, of course I want to stay an extra night and play in Worlds for the first time and finish 69th? I mean, seriously?
Hey, I mean,
if you
did
know,
you have
you
fun,
know,
though?
right?
Did you have fun? That's the important thing.
Yeah, a lot of fun. But, I was not disappointed with my performance. I had, I'd never blown up the Death Star before, Yeah. This is my first time trying in Worlds. So
were you able to blow it up?
I blew it up like 3 times.
There you go.
I lost to some players who I probably shouldn't have lost to, because they were playing with decks that were not that great, that were lended from other people. But, rather play 69th than 68th.
So I do got to ask, what decks did you play for Worlds? What did he hand you?
It's a great question.
Do
I
you
had
remember?
a Sigma deck.
Okay.
I do remember. I had a Sigma deck. I was trying to blow up that damn Death Star, and I kept drawing Destiny 1s and 2s. And I had a hidden base deck, and I played that one so piss poorly. I was supposed to put down Goldenrod after, it was like a Goldenrod, it can wait kind of combo thing. And I was not really well versed in playing It Can Wait.
Okay.
So there was a problem, and people probed it. People probed it on like turn 1. I don't know like how telepathically I was communicating what my system was, but I feel like if I do it again, I'm going to go for that random method and just put one out there and not even know it myself. I'm not a good poker player.
I mean, I know Large Pork did that to me out in Endor, and it took me like 2 or 3 turns like to find his system. But
yeah,
when it comes to hidden base, it's all just a crapshoot. Like, there's no rhyme or reason to it.
Yeah, it's a lot of psychology, reverse psychology, and then you just don't know really what's going on at that point.
So now, so you said you got into the game like for a while ago and everything. Like, did you start when it first came out back in like '95? Or
yeah, I think '96. I mean, we started playing with the starter decks.
Okay.
That were the very first decks. And it was actually my brother, 5 years older than me, who came across the game, and it was his friend Lou Dundon who had introduced him to the game. And then my brother and I started playing, like, just a couple games, and he was 5 years older than me, and I was in, 7th grade or something. So, he didn't want to play cards with me. So I ended up playing him a couple times, beating him. And I remember we went down to the local card shop. It's called Al's Card Store. And the guy selling the cards at Al's Card Store looked exactly like Grand Moff Tarkin. And it was incredible to be buying cards from a literal Star Wars character at that time. It was a running joke in the what was then just a very small Connecticut contingent. And after that, we would ride our bikes down to the store together, G Superstar and I, which probably deserves an introduction. He's this guy right here. I don't know if you can see that. This is G Superstar, a.k.a. Michael Thomas Craig. And yeah, we would ride our bikes down there. One of the other stories that happened, the very first premiere pack that I opened, and I know I've told this story before, and it's almost fantastical, but I pulled a white border Darth Vader in the first pack that I ever opened, and that's one of the reasons I beat my brother and he just never played me again, because I had the best card in the game at that time.
That's fair. So does your brother is he still interested in the game at all, or has he given up on it?
He played for 1 week. That's it. Once you get OG Vader, and he didn't have jack shit. It was just every single time we played, I'd get him out there.
That's
but
fair.
Some of my neighborhood buddies started playing. There was this dude, David Cardeal. Swear to God, his last name was Cardeal. So I was like, okay, this could be like, a slick guy. And he was 3 years older than me. He lived across the street in the other cul-de-sac on Foxglove Lane. And he would like swear and cheat. And he was like a real nasty guy. So I would play against him, and he kind of trained me to be better. And he would read up on the rules that were coming out, because they are really complicated, for a 7th grader to really get. So he would explain them to me. But he ended up trading me like 5 binders worth of hockey cards and baseball cards, like complete sets, but they're not worth shit now. They're just like, totally worthless. In fact, I recently just took all of the cards out, and I'm now reusing those same binders to put my Star Wars cards in, because for the first time in 27 years, I've decided to organize my cards.
Oh, that's great. I love hearing stories like about like the past and everything, like what got people into the game and everything. So since then, you said that you play predominantly no shields, no virtual cards. How do you feel about the virtual cards now, especially that you played in Worlds?
Well, I mean, they are extremely tough to acclimate to after the amount of time I hadn't even really touched them. So it's it's the same game, but it's also much different, and there's still a lot of learning to do, and there's a lot of tricks and game text to learn and memorize, and now I'm a 40-year-old man now. Now I'm learning game text that I should have been learning 15 years ago. So
Well, to be fair, though, like some of the cards, a lot of the V cards weren't there 15 years ago, and I mean, even now, like we're having. I mean, and I don't get me wrong. This is not saying that I'm against erratas or changes or anything, but a lot of the texts are still changing.
Right.
So
yeah, I just think it's a blast to play the game. I play to have fun. I don't like to play like, hunt down. I don't like to play bring him before me. I mean, I try and be creative with my decks. And, if I lose, I lose. But, maybe Corporal Beezer, has the Hoth survival kit and there's an ice storm going on her. And you can't trample her because I've got sense. So, I mean, that to me is as fun as winning a game.
I agree. Like I like the little stuff like that. So, and you just brought it up for the first time, Corporal Beezer.
Corporal Beezer.
Why Corporal Beezer of all the cards out there?
That's a great question. Well, it's hard to explain exactly why Corporal Beezer has become such a sensation in my mind, but I didn't really think Corporal Beezer was going to take off when I started saying who's got the Beezers. That's not, I just thought it sounded cool.
Okay.
But I think it was fortuitous that Corporal Beezer, the more you know about Corporal Beezer, the cooler the card becomes, and the cooler her story becomes. That she's a stunt double for Leia, that she got promoted to Sergeant Beezer, which is a petition that I am going to have at the Beezer Bowl, is for Virtual Set 23 to have a Sergeant Beezer card. I think it's about time. And there's just a lot of cool things about her that the fact that she is, I mean, it goes without saying, she is a female. And, saying who's got the Beezers is, a bit ironic. I don't know.
A little bit. So I do have to say this. So I know, now that you have been on Holotheatre and everything, if you were to win the Guest of the Year, you have the possibility of becoming onto a virtual card. Is there a virtual card out there that you would want to be a part of? Because I know, like you said, you're not a big fan of them, or you're not.
Oh, I'm not. I'm a big fan of virtual cards now. It's just 27 years. It's ingrained in me to be doing no shields, no V. But I think the V cards are great. I think it's another realm to travel into with Star Wars, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. I wouldn't be hosting the Beezer Bowl as an open event, So I'm having a great time with the Beezer Bowl. But as I said, I just think that there's always room for improvement, and that's just kind of how the world works. But I'm not meaning to be any sort of naysayer of them. But haven't thought about that question. I would try to do some sort of like research as to who I look like the most, because that new Luke card, oh Lord, it's a little bit out there.
Oh, what do you mean by it's a little bit out there? You're not a fan? You think it's too good?
Well, I mean, no, I don't think it's too good. I mean, Luke Skywalker looks a certain way, and I don't know if the virtual card looks like Luke Skywalker. I would want to be on a virtual card that at least I had a chance of looking like.
I mean, I'm on the Poe Dameron and the Vader Betrayer of the Jedi. I don't look like either of those. Garrett, you're on.
I'm on Elon Sleazebago.
You kind of look like him.
Nice.
Kind of. So.
So
I guess that's where I start, though. You know, is just for the card that I kind of look like. I don't know who I look like, but maybe you could poll. You could always poll the audience.
That's true.
If there is one now, and I think I would defer to their judgment.
I don't know. Like Chris Kelly's on Old Man Luke. He doesn't look like Old Man Luke.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Old Man Luke looks a little younger than Chris Kelly, so you gotta, you know.
I mean, no, I'm not going to say anything bad. I'm not going to go into anything else. Like, Chris is probably riding high because the Yankees did something crazy, but what is what it is. So let's talk about the Beezer Bowl. So what got you in? Like, what got you to the point of like that you wanted to host this event, especially on December 30th?
Well, I mean, most people have that week off. I have that week off, so it just made perfect sense. We have hosted events here before with just the Connecticut contingent the past 2 years, and we make a big deal out of it. We get T-shirts made, and we have prizes. But this year we're really going all out. I mean, this is going to be nuts. I mean, I'm literally painting a Corporal Beezer as we speak. Like a giant-sized Corporal Beezer card.
Okay, you got to show this off.
Yeah,
that's like this big.
And now, is this going to go to the winner? Is this going to go to like somebody else? I mean, it looks amazing.
No, this is actually just going to hang on my wall. The prizes are going to be better than the prizes are going to be better.
Well, I mean, okay, so I mean, if I come up there, win. And I'll be like, do I get the Corporal Beezer? And you're like, no, I'm going to be disappointed.
I'll paint you another one.
Okay. That better be a promise.
I can always do two.
That better be a promise.
You're going to want the paintings that are actually good, I think. And I'm not an artist. I'm a musician. So I do have a couple of the paintings right here.
Okay. Let's see them.
My wife, Kate Avery, she ended up painting two paintings that are going to be not the grand prize, but two of the top prizes. So right here we have already just framed this morning, the Endor landing platform. And you can go to the forums post, and I'm going to be posting more pictures on Discord and Slack and all those other places. So that's going to be one of the top prizes. And we also have a nice scene from Return of the Jedi with the Ewok bridge and the battering ram right here as well. And
those are gorgeous, dude. Like, I don't even...
Yeah,
our graphics team does
Yeah.
Amazing work. And
can we get your wife just to make some V cards?
Yeah. Like,
yes, actually, she'd be really interested. I mean, she's done cosplay before as well, so she'd be able to do that if you wanted to. That would be really cool. But I just wanted to do a quick.
What I'm hearing is
get her to do Sergeant Beezer
cosplay.
Yeah,
yeah, that would be great. I mean, that I would rather have that than me on a V card, honestly. But I'd also, you know, if I was voted into one, I'd certainly love the chance.
I would allow it. I would allow it if you want that to happen. Because, I mean, Johnny Chu, he's on one, and we have him and his children on it. So if you would rather have your wife as a Sergeant Beezer virtual card, I would allow it.
That'd be cool. That'd be awesome.
But, of course, we'd have to make a Sergeant Beezer, and we would have to get an image of Sergeant Beezer that's not a Decipher image.
Cool. I just wanted to do a plug real quick. The grand prize is going to be provided by Connecticut contingent member Tom Brayton, also known as Greebone, and this is his Instagram.
Greebone.
And you definitely want to check that out. He's an incredible artist. His Admiral Akbar, which is a really big painting, almost, I think it might be bigger than this Beezer. I think it literally might be bigger than this Beezer, but it looks like a photograph. He's an incredible artist, so you definitely want to check his work out. And then if you want to check my wife's workout, you want to go to her website, kateaveryart.com. So that's my plugging for the day.
And you know what? Just because let's go. I'm actually going to pull up some of the stuff that Tom has done. So if you're watching right now, here's some of the stuff that he has done. Oh wow,
that is gorgeous. That is extraordinarily talented.
Yeah, he's an incredible artist. Incredible. He's also going to be handing out signed prints. He was recently in the Vienna Comic-Con, and he sold out of prints. So he's going to be making more, and every single person who attends the Beezer Bowl is going to be getting a signed print by Greebone. And he's going to be bringing tons of them. So that's just another thing to look forward to.
I wish it wasn't a 16-hour drive.
You can stay the night, Dan.
That's not the issue. It's a 16-hour drive.
Is it 8 hours there and 8 hours back?
Don't know.
Pennsylvania, do the math. Get the Google Maps out.
I did this. I did it.
You did. All right.
I'm running it right now while you guys talk.
We would love to have you.
Where is it at?
It's in East Hampton, Connecticut. It's kind of right in the center of Connecticut.
7 hours and 47 minutes.
That's not bad. It's not too bad. I will say this. Anybody who comes who's a skilled player is probably going to walk away with some great prizes because the Connecticut contingent, we are not skilled players.
So Dan fits right in.
That's right.
Hey, I finished in fourth at Corellia Regionals.
That was and I finished third. What's your point? That was just
anybody can win at this game.
Right up. So
just a quick overview of the Connecticut contingent while I'm thinking about it. I've got the shirt on. Let's do a quick introduction.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, we got G Superstar right here. Okay, also known as Michael Thomas Craig. Best friends since 7th grade. Met in 6th grade homeroom. Going over here, here's Greebone. Incredibly talented artist. Met him at LaSalle Music in West Hartford. Friends ever since. Great guitar player. Then center, Patrick Scahill, a.k.a. Blue Milk. NPR reporter extraordinaire. This guy has got some incredible stories on cows. You're going to want to check him out. That's obviously me, Frodo Light, Skeptical Sally, and then right over here, we got Slomsky. We got Jeffrey Slomsky, known as Jeff Slomsky, a.k.a. C. Creepio. And he is an actuary. And I should do SAT scores also. We got 1360. We've got, I think we got a 1320 here. He's definitely in the 1320s. We're looking high 1200s right here. I got an 1180 flat. Took it twice. Same score on verbal and math both times. And we're looking north of 1500, Dan. We're looking north of 1500 right here. That's your guy you got to watch out for. So I know you got a 1420.
So the 1500 is the best tracker of the group, I'm assuming.
He's the best player of the group.
So I do have to ask this: what was your wife's Instagram? I want to show her off as well, really quick.
Oh, her Instagram is Plein Air, and that's spelled PLEINHEIR. Plein Air. But her website is just kateaveryart.com.
That's what I was
.com. Yep, kateaveryart.com.
So if you're looking at, and again, just to like highlight some one of the artists really quick, this is. So some of the stuff that your wife has done, wow. So again, if you're going to get some skilled artists, you know, some stuff. So definitely, like that's one of the reasons to go. The other one is
that's
to
on
meet
top
Frodo.
of the prize package. That's on top of the the Luke AI foils, the Millennium Falcon AI foils, the poker chips. We're planning on doing this. I mean, I had such a great time at Worlds. The way that people will just kind of walk around and put a prize on your table while you're playing a game. I thought that was such a great concept. So that's going to be what's happening over at the Beezer Bowl as well. I mean, we've got poker chips to hand out. We've got slips to hang out or hand out. We have the cups, stadium cups as prizes. The standard. I think we've got a really cool one here. The Players Committee Dark Side Edition, big blind, small blind.
Nice.
I didn't realize how hefty these
they're heavy.
chips are, but I mean these they have, I don't know what they're made of, but it's like uranium or something. And we've also got the 2 free vouchers from the Beezer Bowl signed by J Knapp himself.
Oof.
And there's 2 vouchers for free events. And there's also, I think, 16 rare cards that we're going to be handing out. So if 16 people show up, everyone's going to get a rare card. If 10 people show up, we'll get 10 rares and then add the 6 to a pool. Whoever finishes whatever gets the 6 rare cards, or 3 and 3, or however it'll work. But we also, I wanted to give a shout out to Ed Sheehan, because he is going to be coming down from Massachusetts and hosting the event on Saturday, and tournament directing. So I'm grateful for that, because I do not know how to do this officially.
I was gonna say, because Ed would be the one to win it. He's like a really good player.
Yes, I'm expecting some BB-8 Destinies on Saturday from him. But on Friday, the 29th, that's going to be the retro event. We're going to have these events from noon to 6. So 6 games, strength of schedule, constructed decks. That's Friday. And then Saturday is going to be the same thing, noon to 6 o'clock. And Saturday, there's going to be a halftime show as well. This is the Beezer Bowl. And if you're going to have a Beezer Bowl, you better damn well have a halftime show.
Okay.
So the Connecticut contingent is going to be performing their hit single, If You've Got the ... And if you want to know what we've got, you've got to come to the Beezer Bowl.
Now, for those who are not in attendance, will you be streaming this in any way?
I really hope someone's going to videotape this. Oh, yeah. This is going to be wild. This is going to be like Backstreet Boys get back together. We're going to have choreography. It's going to be wild beyond your wildest dreams. You are not going to be expecting what happens. I will say that.
I don't know. Like, I'm expecting a lot. Like, you're putting a lot on the table. You're putting more than Kendall was putting on the table for Omega Worlds.
Well,
just saying.
Kendall didn't give us a halftime show.
It's all going to be there, you know?
I mean, obviously, Kendall had some help with Travis because he had the basement and everything. Now, will you be hosting people after the event? Will there be other things like, board games, festivities, or any drinking or anything? I
mean, yeah. There's going to be tons of drinking and fun. I mean, that's part of what we do. We're the Connecticut contingent. We have fun. Fun over winning. That's our motto. But, people are welcome to come. They could spend the night. We don't want anyone driving under the influence. Okay. So if you do imbibe, then we've got plenty of places to stay. We've got 2 recreational buildings that have plenty of, sofa space and extra couches. We have a main house that's got guest rooms and a basement that's got pull-out couches. I mean, we probably got sleeping accommodations for like 15 people. Wow. I mean, like 5 of them would have to be on the floor, but if you want to, you know, spend the night, that's, you know, that's kind of how it goes sometimes, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I've slept.
But there's hotels around here too, you know? I mean,
Yeah.
but in the effort to cut down costs, because I know people are going to be traveling, and you don't want to have to, you know, drive to a hotel if you just played Friday night and if you had a few beers, because, you know, it's just, you don't want to do that.
Mm-mm.
So spend the night. We encourage that, and you know, I've met the people of SWCCG in the community, and I trust everyone, and I, you know, we're
even large
trying
pork.
to give back. We're yeah. I've met Large Pork's wife. We've hung out at his house, and you know, we've had a lot of fun. It's been a really great 6 months ever since I decided to take that first step.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really glad I managed to gather up the Beezers and do it.
So
live.
What is your pitch for those who are on the fence, like myself right now? Like, I'll be honest, if it wasn't an 8-hour drive, I would be there. What's your pitch to get me to go?
I mean, I've been pitching this for like half an hour.
I know. Well, I know, but
I don't know
what's your final pitch?
I want the elevator pitch, the 30-second.
Yeah.
This event is the event to end all events, literally, because it's the last event in 2023. And not only is it that, but there's like real freaking good prizes and stuff. I mean, you guys are going to want to see this halftime show. I mean, Jesus Christ.
The prizes, I don't care about, well, I do care about the prizes. I mean, I would love to have one of the art pieces like hanging right above my computer desk.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, like I said, you're not giving away the Beezer art.
Well, it's not going to even probably be finished by then. I mean, to be honest, it takes me like 100 hours to paint one of these things. I'm not a very good artist. But there is also a Corporal Beezer original theme song. So not only is there a halftime show, but Ed Sheehan actually had a really great idea. He said, okay, maybe if someone, you know, plays a Corporal Beezer card and like, you know, maybe she hits someone with a weapon, there's like something that happens, you know, like everyone hops and something cool happens. So, I mean, I could just, I mean, I'm actually at a piano right now.
See, now, which is great because there's a lot of good musicians in the community. I would love to see you and Timo Dussel, Dylan on GEMP collaborate to make an official like Corporal Beezer theme song or something.
There is already an official Corporal Beezer song. I could play it for you right now.
Let's do it. You got the time.
You want? All right.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. I'm going to have to put this up here or else I can't open the piano, though.
That's fine.
All right, so the song was written on a Casio keyboard from 1997.
I love it.
So imagine there's a beat going on. And I haven't really warmed up, so, you know, it could be rough, but here it is. And there you have it. The abridged version. You'll get the full version if you show up for the Beezer Bowl.
That's what I'm hearing is we need to get a Holotheatre song.
We do.
I'm your man.
Put together. I mean,
I don't know. I've heard
that
like
right
I've heard
there
many
would
people
get
say
you favorite guest votes. I'm telling you right now. You bust out a Holotheatre lead-in, you know, a little lead-in music.
Dan, if you want to check out my original songs, it was my New Year's resolution this year to write 100 original songs.
Oh wow!
On my Casio keyboard and my Yamaha, 50 on each, and each of them had to be a different instrument. So I didn't even double up on instruments. One's a trumpet, one's saxophone, one's synth, one's, you know, it's all different. Oboe, bassoon, everything. A lot of them have beats. And my TikTok, if anybody has TikTok besides me, is keyboard shorts.
I mean, I think my kids do. Like,
You might have to borrow their phone.
I know Brian Fred does because he's on there.
All right.
Why does
Let 'em
Fred
know.
on TikTok not surprise me in the least?
Well, it's literally just a picture of my hands playing the notes. It's it's a very professional TikTok. It's literally 50 songs on one of my TikToks, and the other TikTok is the other keyboard, and it has 40 songs. So I still have 10 songs to go before I hit 100, which was my New Year's resolution. So the time is ticking.
Well, you still got a little bit of time. I want to see those done.
They're going to be done. But, there's a lot of prep for the Beezer Bowl that I've been doing. Yeah. But, I'm trying to, juggle a lot of balls here.
No, that's awesome. I did just go on a lark, and it's about a 20-hour drive for me. And flights right around there are crazy. So I don't think it's going to...
Come on, Jared.
I don't think the East Coast is on my radar, but I'm feeling serious FOMO.
All you got to do is grab AJ. He'll drive with you again.
Last time he drove with me, we both ended up with COVID. I don't know if he's going to drive with me again. that Ohio event was
great.
It was awesome, but yeah, like 5 or 6 of us ended up with COVID, which is a little unfortunate. So,
okay, man.
It was.
Oh, excuse me. Oh, Steelers game has put me to sleep. Really quick before we go, we got to do the one last thing. I think this might be the last one of the year. We got to do our card challenge. So this one's going to be a lore challenge. What we'll do, I'll put the lore on the screen. I'll also read it. After I'm done reading it, you'll get the option of either the set or the type of the card. And then you'll have 45 seconds to guess what the card is. I will also allow you to pick a person from the chat, and I'll read some off of you.
I don't know who's in the chat.
Gemp Superstar, Large Porg, Garrett.
I'm probably going to go with Garrett.
That's never a good idea. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I'll try, yeah.
Okay. So, let's go ahead, put up the timer. Iron Mike Dyson's on there too.
Am I supposed to be able to see this card?
Well, I put it. I'm going to read it off as well. So, but like I said, it's on Twitch, so everybody can read it. And then, so I'll read it off to you, and then you get, like I said, you'll have the decision of either the type or the set, and then from there, take a stab in the dark.
Okay.
The lore is self-taught marksman and scout from a rural region of Chandrilla, inspired by Mon Mothma to join the Alliance.
Wow.
Hold on.
Scout makes me think about Endor, but I feel like that's subterfuge.
Newly recruited into Madine's commandos as field technician. Would you like the type or the set?
Is type just like
character, weapon, location,
okay.
Interrupt.
I mean, the lore really makes it seem like it's got to be a character. I mean,
so I'll give you the set. The set is Death Star 2.
Okay. I am gonna say character.
Yep.
So we got Large Porg is popping off in chat. If you want to use him as your, you said you can't see chat.
But your 45 seconds starts now.
Do you want to use Tommy as your phone a friend?
Yes.
So Tommy's saying Corporal Midge. Midge is Death Star 2. She was one of the late scouts, and I'll be honest, Death Star 2 took out the card I was thinking it might have been, so I don't hate Midge as a guess.
– 15 seconds.
I'm gonna go with Corporal Midge.
Is that your final answer?
It is locked in.
You can thank Tommy because it is Corporal Midge.
Yeah, baby!
Yes.
Woo! All right. Hells yeah.
So what I'm hearing is Tommy gets a Corporal Midge at the Beezer Bowl.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's only fair.
I've got a couple to spare. I wanted to also say one last thing, if it's all right.
Sure.
We're trying to get enough people to buy into an Endor box, sealed factory.
Ooh.
And I think it's $1,000 around that. And I think we've got about 4 people. So right now we're covering at least half the cost, probably like $600 of it. And if there's anybody who's listening or could spread the word to someone else, because we got to kind of get this quick sooner than later. So if there's another 4 people who put in, $100, then we've got it.
That's...
Dan's even more wanting to come now. He's...
No. That's expensive.
Yeah, Endor boxes are not cheap. That's
like...
Yeah, they're $1,000 straight up.
But there's no good cards at Endor.
Corporal Beezer.
Endor was a weird set when it came out because it definitely
Daughter of Skywalker too.
didn't feel like it changed the meta nearly as much, and then Death Star 2 dropped and everything went crazy.
Yeah.
So
if it happens, it happens. Hopefully people, if we get another 10 people to go in on it, then they'd only be spending, maybe $30-$40 a person, so it wouldn't be too bad. But that's if we can get it cooking. If not, we got plenty of other goodies. We're still gonna have a good time,
Yeah, that's the important part.
It looks like it's going to be a blast, and I know Tommy just said they are going to try and figure out some sort of stream. So I volunteered and said, you know what, I'll commentate. If you guys get a stream running, I'll jump on, and actually, you know what, I'll go one better. If you guys get a stream running for the retro on Friday, I'll do that one too. I always take off the week from Christmas to New Year's and just hang out with the family, but by the 30th, the family's sick of me, so spitting down in the basement and streaming Star Wars seems like a good use of everybody's time. So
Yeah, Garrett's all about the streaming in his basement.